because honestly, when I got up this morning, I wasn't exactly sure what Jack and I were going to be talking about today. And so start doing my thing, scanning the internet, seeing what I can find. And what do I find? I find that somebody that published an article on a Tennessee Titans outlet website saying that the Tennessee Titans could go after Dak Prescott in 2025. Let's just take a look at a couple of graphics I have here, Jack. I sent you this article right after I found it. I was like, well, here's what we're doing today. Could the Titans sign Cowboys Dak Prescott next year? And the summary says, the Tennessee Titans don't have a solidified quarterback plan, but maybe next offseason could bring one along. This is from Jeremy Brenner, who is writing for All Titans, a part of the SI Sports Illustrated Fan Nation group. And he continues with a couple blurbs. And as of now, Prescott doesn't have an extension lined up, which could spell the end of his tenure with the Cowboys. And then a quote from ESPN.com. While the Cowboys have been criticized for waiting to get a deal done with Prescott, has shown patience. It's worked for the Signal Cardinal in 2021 when he signed a 4-year, $160 million deal, and it could work again. Getting something done before the season starts would be preferable for the Cowboys, but the final deadline is early March of 2025, and it continues. Without a deal done before the 2025 league year, Prescott will count $40.5 million against the cap and will likely be headed to a new team, following the path of Kirk Cousins through this offseason. Now, Jeremy Brenner continues and says, if Prescott is a free agent and Levis's struggles continue, the Titans could be a landing spot for the Cowboys quarterback. The Titans are one of the soundest teams financially in the NFL and have a desire to want to compete sooner rather than later. Adding Prescott instead of playing it out with Levis or drafting a rookie would certainly fast track the team's path to the playoffs, and the Titans should be at least looking at the possibility if the Cowboys are ready to move on. So, Jack, there is a lot there. And there is a lot there that tells me that this person, Jeremy Brenner, has not been covering the Tennessee Titans for very long. And really, the sentence under the headline, the Tennessee Titans don't have a solidified quarterback plan, tells me enough of what this person, I think, knows about the Titans organization and how they feel about Will Levis as the quarterback. So your initial reactions and takeaways from this article at All Titans SI Fan Nation. So what are you thinking here?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of came out of nowhere, right? I don't think I've seen this anywhere yet. And for Dak Prescott, we're talking about a guy, by the way, who finished first in the NFL in touchdown passes last season, second in QBR, third in yards. Those dudes don't come cheap. I mean, hell, we just saw Jared Goff cash in on a 4-year deal with an AAV of $53 million. So Dak Prescott, while he only counts for 40.5 next year against the cap, if he has another year like he did this year, he could be in for an extension no matter where he ends up. And I'm not so sure that that's in the Titans' budget. I mean, we've heard Brian Callahan talk this offseason about how he appreciates the fact that Will Levis is on a rookie deal. I mean, look how aggressive Rand Carthon was this offseason and going out and getting impact players in free agency. L'Jarius Sneed through a trade, Chidobe Awuzie, Lloyd Cushenberry, Calvin Ridley. You got D-Hop last offseason. So, and you still got holes, by the way. There's still some cracks in this roster. It can't be fixed in one offseason, but when you go out and pay a guy like Dak Prescott, $40 million, whatever it might end up being, you really limit yourself in what you can do and how you can fix some new issues that might crop up this season with a completely new roster and a completely new scheme with 2 new coordinators. It's confusing to me where this take came from. Like in the past, when the Titans have been connected to some of these top quarterbacks, like they've had links on the team or in the front office, right? Like the Brady thing with John Robinson and Mike Vrabel. Okay, it makes sense. Peyton Manning in college, played at Tennessee. There aren't any like the closest connection to Dak Prescott the Titans have right now is Tony Pollard, who hasn't taken a snap yet for the Titans. So that's not strong enough for me to take this seriously. And the money side of this thing is just too big of a hurdle for me to jump over in terms of trying to figure out how Dak Prescott fits here in Tennessee. And plus, if Dak Prescott does go somewhere else, that means the Cowboys are done with him. And after a season like he had last year, and he's poised to have another big one this year with CeeDee Lamb, emerging as one of the top receivers in the league. Plenty of weapons down there in Dallas. Great offensive line. Like, who says the Cowboys would ever want to get rid of that guy? I mean, he's turning 31 in July, so I don't see any reason for the Cowboys to move on from him, especially if he keeps playing the way he has been playing.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers to this. One, I don't think the Cowboys are going to let Dak Prescott walk. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they will get a deal done. It might take until the last minute, but that's what I think will actually happen. Ed says $40 million is cheap for a quarterback. You're not wrong, Ed. And that's kind of what Dak Prescott's future could look like for the Cowboys. I think it's ridiculous. And so we're going to get more into this article. Again, here's the article, Jeremy Brenner of All Titans on the SI Foundation platform. The Tennessee Titans don't have a solidified quarterback plan, but maybe next offseason could bring one along, citing Dak Prescott's contract situation with an ESPN.com quote from this offseason. And then Brenner says, if Prescott is a free agent and Levis's struggles continue, the Titans could become a landing spot for the Cowboys quarterback. So let's get into this because I think there's a lot of opinions here on this article. And we're going to ask you guys, what's one word to describe the ridiculous take of Dak Prescott replacing Will Levis in 2025? So what is one word to describe this ridiculous take of Dak Prescott potentially replacing Will Levis